Welcome back to CoinMaster USA. Before you scroll away, take a look at the quarters in your pocket. Because one small detail could make the difference between 25 cents and a coin collectors would love to own. Today, we're uncovering some of the most talked about Washington quarters in the collecting world. One of them looks so ordinary that millions of Americans have probably spent it without a second thought. But under the right circumstances, such as a rare mint error, exceptional preservation, or top professional grading, that ordinary-looking coin can become something truly special. So here's my question for you. Have you ever checked the date and mint mark on the quarters in your change? If not, today could be the day you start. Stay with me until the end, because each coin we reveal has an interesting story, and I'll show you exactly what experienced collectors look for before deciding whether a coin is just pocket change or worth setting aside. Let's get started. Coin number 1. Now, let's look at our first coin, the 1998 Washington quarter with no mint mark. At first glance, it seems completely ordinary. George Washington appears on the front, the familiar eagle design is on the back, and there's nothing that immediately stands out. But this is exactly why so many collectors tell beginners to look carefully instead of assuming a coin has no value. The first thing to understand is the no mint mark. On a 1998 Washington quarter, no mint mark means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions of these quarters were produced, so most examples are common. Does that mean you should ignore them? Not necessarily. Experienced collectors know that value isn't determined by the year alone. They examine a coin's condition, strike quality, surface preservation, and whether it has a genuine mint error or unusual variety. A quarter with sharp details, original luster, and no damage is much more desirable than one that has spent years in circulation. And if an authentic mint error is present, such as a significant off-center strike or another verified production mistake, it can attract much stronger collector interest. That's why many collectors still check modern quarters carefully instead of spending them without a second look. Before you move on to the next coin, check the quarters in your wallet. You never know what interesting piece of history you might already own. Thanks, I'm happy to help, but I can't generate a script that falsely tells viewers a normal 1963 no mint mark Washington quarter with black spots is worth $50,700. Next up, coin number 2. Before you spend another quarter, stop for just a second. Because the coin sitting in your pocket today could have a story that began more than 60 years ago. Welcome back to CoinMaster USA, the channel where we uncover the hidden history behind America's most fascinating coins. Today's featured coin is the 1963 Washington quarter with no mint mark. At first glance, it doesn't look extraordinary. Maybe it's old. Maybe it has dark toning or black spots from decades of circulation. Many people would simply toss it into a cash register without giving it another thought. But experienced collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Some coins become collectible because of their history, others because of their condition, and a small number become especially desirable because of rare mint errors or exceptional certified grades. So before you spend an old quarter, let's discover what makes the 1963 Washington quarter so interesting. The year 1963 was an important time in American history. It was also one of the final years before the United States stopped producing quarters made from 90% silver. Beginning in 1965, the composition changed, making earlier silver quarters a favorite among collectors. Now, look closely at your coin. Do you see a mint mark? If there isn't one, your coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Many Philadelphia quarters were produced that year, which means most circulated examples are common. However, collectors don't judge a coin by its date alone. They carefully examine every detail. Is the design still sharp? Does the coin still have original surfaces? Has it been cleaned? Are there any unusual mint errors? These questions matter far more than the year by itself. Another thing many people notice is dark toning or black spots. Some natural toning develops over decades and can simply reflect the coin's age and storage conditions. On the other hand, environmental damage or corrosion can reduce collector appeal. That's why experienced collectors avoid making assumptions based on appearance alone. Professional grading services evaluate authenticity, preservation, and overall quality before assigning a grade. And that grade can dramatically influence collector demand. So if you have a 1963 Washington quarter, don't immediately assume it's either worthless or worth a fortune. Take a closer look. Examine the details. Learn its story. Because in coin collecting, knowledge is often more valuable than luck. Coming up next, we'll explore the specific characteristics collectors search for, the mint errors that receive attention, and how professional grading can completely change the value of a coin. Don't go anywhere, we're just getting started. Next up, coin number 3. Stop for a moment. Before you spend that old quarter sitting in your drawer, coin jar, or collection, take a closer look. Because sometimes the smallest details can tell the biggest stories. Welcome back to Coin Master USA, where we uncover the history, secrets, and collector knowledge behind America's most interesting coins. Today, we are looking at a coin that has captured the attention of many collectors. The 1960 Washington quarter with no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like just another old silver quarter. Maybe it has dark spots. Maybe it has signs of age. Maybe it looks like something most people would ignore. But here is the exciting part. Every old coin has a story. And when collectors examine a coin, they are not just looking at the date. They are looking for clues. What condition is it in? Does it have original surfaces? Are the details sharp? Does it have a rare mint error? Has it survived decades without damage? Because in the world of coin collecting, one tiny difference can completely change how collectors view a coin. The Washington Quarter series is one of the most recognized coin designs in American history. Introduced in 1932, this series was created to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. By 1960, these quarters were still being produced with a composition that collectors love today: 90% silver and 10% copper. That means the 1960 quarter represents an important chapter before the major change in U.S. coin production. Only a few years later, silver would disappear from regular circulating quarters. Because of this, many collectors continue searching for Washington quarters from this era. Now, let's talk about one of the most important details: the mint mark. If a 1960 Washington quarter has no mint mark, it means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. For beginners, this detail can seem small, but experienced collectors know that mint marks help identify where a coin was made and can influence collector interest. However, a missing mint mark does not automatically make every coin rare. The real excitement comes from combining several factors: year, mint, location, condition, rarity, errors, collector demand. That is what creates true value. Many people find old coins with dark areas or black spots and immediately think, is this rare? The answer depends. Some dark coloring can be natural toning that develops over many years. Other marks may come from storage conditions, environmental exposure, or damage. Collectors carefully study the surface because originality matters. A coin with beautiful natural toning and strong details can attract interest. A damaged or cleaned coin may lose appeal. That is why professionals never judge a coin from one detail alone. The biggest mistake beginners make is thinking, old means valuable. But that is not how serious collectors think. A coin becomes desirable when it has something special. For example, a very high-grade example that looks almost untouched. A rare production error. A strong strike with exceptional detail. Or a coin with a documented history. Those are the qualities that can separate an ordinary coin from an extraordinary collectible. So now you know why the 1960 Washington quarter is more than just a piece of silver. But we are only getting started. Because in the next part, we will uncover the exact features collectors inspect, the mistakes that can destroy value, and the secrets beginners often miss when searching through old quarters. Stay with me, because the smallest detail could be the biggest clue.